Good afternoon, friends. If you've been following, you know that I am on a track of every day this week to chat with you, introduce an opportunity for you to work with the healing of your own world in your own hands with plant medicine, and also to invite and invite you all into the virtual studio that I've created as an opportunity for you to bring your mindfulness, wellness, and greatness practices into your home, streamed right in through this device that you are so fortunate to have at your fingertips. Because it's not everybody on the planet that gets such extreme ease to as much information or support or education or community even than when we get to play with each other online and through these digital communities that we're building. It's just such a powerful opportunity that we all have to really take our lives into our own hands. And today I've been a little bit slower to come to you because I don't know if you guys know my process by now. If you're watching, you know that I have 2 oils every day in the process because I work with doTERRA, and every week or once or twice a year they do BOGOs. So they have 2 products that they highlight every day. But what you guys don't know is that I sometimes stay up until after midnight to find out what the deal of the day is, or I wake up in the middle of the night, so that my subconscious brain can work on what it is I want to talk about and share with you when I come on live. So I woke up, I don't know, at like 2:30 in the morning because I had to go to bed early. And what I've been working with all day long to come to you guys with this information that I have is the mental benefits, the emotional support, the neurological and chemical changes that can take place when you work with aromatherapy. And these 2 oils are called Holiday Peace and Citrus Bliss. So if you buy the 15 ml of Holiday Peace today, you get the Citrus Bliss for free. So that's the deal. And if you decide to purchase these 2, then you get a free entry to a giveaway we're doing every single day for a month inside of our virtual studio. So 30 full days of access to archive classes and live classes. But the benefits of stepping into this process of prioritizing your wellness, prioritizing your greatness, and taking care of your health on every level is really kind of at a tipping point right now. Every single one of us has to take our own well-being into our own hands because, one, no one knows best except ourselves. No one can tell you in the most authoritative way what it is you need. You can tell yourself that, right? But the ability to start to do that with accuracy, because if, sometimes you hear that cue in yoga class, like, go just do what feels good, right? Move in a way that feels good in your body. And I always make the joke, like, look, if I did what feels good, I'll be drinking wine and eating Ben and Jerry's all the time, right? I've had my fair share of those days. But that doesn't always take me down the path of wellness, greatness, and fitness that I want to embody in my world. And being able to take care of myself, to know that on that real subtle level of recalibration and alchemy, I'm doing what's best for me, the more sensitive I become to my needs, the more sensitive I become to my toxic thoughts or limiting beliefs, the more sensitive I become to the messages that my body, my nervous system, my digestive system, my musculoskeletal system are signaling to me all the time, right? And so these practices that we teach you, working with plant medicine, stepping into your body from the inside out, making space for yourself first and foremost, that really is this sort of stepping stone for you to begin to know what is right for you. Now, a bigger conversation that's being had on so many levels right now, I was actually just talking to a friend of mine yesterday about the Joker movie and how it's on everyone's mind about mental health awareness. And really, it seems like a lot of people are at these extreme places in their mind, and we're making mental health more of it's not as taboo anymore to be able to talk about mental health, to be able to talk about, anxiety and depression and just opportunities for us to really acknowledge that life is such that we are stressed, we are taking on a lot of external stimulus, and we are advancing in such a rapid way that our minds and our ability to consciously keep up with all of the transformation, it's kind of challenging. And so it's putting a lot of people under stress, under duress, on all of their levels, right? The physical, the nervous system is literally frayed constantly. We're in perpetual fight or flight. The mind is trying to keep up with all the different advertisements and marketing that is just bombarding every single day. And our emotional body, our chronic body, our subtle body, and the somatic world of where it is we feel and we take on information, those things are just being bombarded all the time. So as I was working with these two oils today, and especially over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed my own pretty conscious need of emotional and mental support, right? So to work with oils, one called Citrus Bliss, the other one called Holiday Peace, right? These are the oils that are available today. But there is a host of plant medicine that you can work with specifically targeted to the mental and emotional well-being of your body, of your existence, of your heart, right? This is super important for you to be able to know taking care of yourself doesn't happen just on the yoga mat. Taking care of yourself doesn't happen just in the kitchen when you're cooking dinner or when you're running your workout in the morning. It's a moment-to-moment watch on where is your basic kind of like baseline of thought patterning. How do you feel? What is your general emotional state, mental state? Now, the reason I'm saying this is so important right now is because I've noticed over the last few weeks, and this I think just comes hand in hand with being a CEO of a business, a small business owner, or in a mind of an entrepreneur, this level of anxiety that I'm experiencing is totally new in my world. I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced anxiety, and maybe I sound totally naive at this, but I actually have felt the experience of anxiety in my body over the last couple of weeks. Now, what I love is that the feeling itself didn't take over. I actually was able to get that sense of, whoa, that's my nervous system. Whoa, that's this internal feeling of a little bit of stress, of a little bit of tension that's pulled me up, uprooted me from the earth. There's this experience of really not sure how to ground, how to feel confident in this moment, how to come back to the present moment, because my brain is just going so fast, right? Well, cue the essential oils, right? Cue my deep breathing, cue every practice that I've been working to know so well for 20 years, right? It's becoming non-negotiable. Being a business owner comes with so many emotional highs and lows, ups and downs, and the fear and anxiety that can come by taking something into your own hands, just like starting something out of nothing, can put you into a little stress place. So I've been working with these two BOGO oils today, back and forth. I'll go from the Holiday Peace to the Citrus Bliss, over back and forth, back and forth. And it's been a really beautiful experience. Number one, I've been really calm today. But the Holiday Peace, it's sort of the Christmas feeling, but it's not the spicy, like cinnamony kind of clovey. It's the real evergreen. And I just want you to think the last time, if you don't live in Colorado, or even if you do, the last time you were in the middle of the forest. And maybe it was cold or maybe it was summertime, but for sure there was a feel that you noticed. There was something so deep and rich and wise, and it smelled probably like evergreen, that is really unforgettable. And it, whenever I go into these fir oils, or I'll just read you what's in it. Siberian fir, grapefruit, Douglas fir, Himalayan fir, frankincense, and vetiver. So 3 different fir oils. Just imagine a Christmas tree right under your nose all day long, right? How healing is that, right? And if you love the holidays, great, then put yourself in that headspace all the time. If you don't love the holidays, don't associate this with Christmas. Associate this with being in nature, being amongst the wise old forest, and the ability to take in the information of ancient wisdom, just patience, steadfastness, integration, right? Trees have such this network of communication with one another. The ability to just simply be surrounded and almost embraced by the forest and the needles on the earth and the evergreen that is in the forest, right? That's this really calming benefit that you can get, that when you choose to feel, if you notice that anxious feeling, if you notice that stressed out nervous system, if you notice your pelvic floor is gripping or your toes are lifted off the floor, there's an opportunity for you to say, okay, I need a little mental health support. And instead of reaching for a Xanax, which please, if you know anybody that's on that, and I don't say that medicine is not necessary. By all means, I know a lot of people need it. But most of us are not quite at that level that we can actually pause a little bit of that immediate reactivity on going to a prescription medicine and just be more proactive, right? So this peace and this bliss that we're inviting, citrus bliss is, I always tell my clients, it's like comfort food in a bottle. It has that vanilla flavor and all of the citrus oils, kind of like a creamsicle. But as I was going back and forth from these two today, every time I would smell the holiday piece, which is again more that evergreen feeling, I immediately calmed down and started to dream big. It was like I brought myself back into the moment and then I could look into the future, but not until I came back, right? And then I would switch to citrus bliss, and whenever I would switch over to the citrus bliss, I would just get a little energy boost. I would get like a, okay, let's take action. Okay, let's move into something. Okay, stop thinking and let's start doing, right? And these are two very different experiences, but I wanted to spend some time with them today. I obviously have used them, both of them are almost gone, religiously in my own life because of the benefits to them, and we only have the holiday piece right now at this time of year. But I love that there is a different experience and yet a similar effect that I can get through two different types of oils. Now, if you have never worked with essential oils, or if you're so sick of hearing about essential oils, either one, there's an opportunity for you to start to open up to something that actually looks like, educating yourself, right? Really opening up to this idea that there's something as a first line of defense that you can be proactive and preventative in your world, learning how to hold yourself in a way all day long that avoids this sort of heavy impact of stress where you cut off from yourself, right? Posture, knowing how to hold yourself, knowing how to absorb impact, but also reaching for tools that are going to help really on a quick level bring you back to the moment. Mental health is becoming more and more of an okay thing, first of all, to communicate about, right? Don't be shy about it. Don't hide. Don't run away from it. But also, it's not a science that has to be so mystical that we can't all start to take our own health into our own hands and be proactive. And, before the levels of depression or anxiety or stress take us to moments where we blow up and have an explosion and have a, negative impact in our emotions, right? We can really step forward and acknowledge that feeling anxious is okay, but it's how you let it perpetuate in your life, in your body, in your relationships, in your decision making that can become kind of detrimental, right? Especially if the decision making first is, self-flagellating or self-sabotaging, because when you hurt yourself, it's really hard for you to treat others very well. So there's an opportunity that I hope that whether you're reaching out to me or your own, oil support or your own yoga teacher, whatever it is, that you acknowledge that this is not, our mindful practices, which mindful movement, yoga, the movement of this industry has really moved into a lot of calisthenics and exercise, and it's like the hotter, faster, more power flow you can find, the better. And I was actually doing a little research on the founder and CEO of a specific style and studio that's kind of a corporate chain of yoga. And he had a really traumatic death a couple of years ago. And to me, it's quite tragic and it's horrible because he was such an influential human and he made such a positive impact on the world. But he ended in such a scary way that kind of points to some level of mental health support that he wasn't getting. And this is happening all over the place. And I don't want to take it down too low, because these oils are so uplifting, holiday peace and citrus bliss. But I also don't want to overlook something that's so important, because every one of us has an opportunity to face stress every single day. And if we don't know how to handle stress in a healthy way and distribute it through the whole of our body, through the whole of our life, things can pile up really easily. When I was using these oils, especially today, I would just notice again that immediate anchor point that brought me back to what is, not what's up in here that is stressful or anxious or worry oriented, but what is, especially the holiday piece. This is really just my love today. What grounded me into the sort of feeling of the forest and the wise trees and that dense experience connection to nature. As soon as I was able to bring myself back, I could look to the future in a positive and optimistic way. And I know that a lot of us look into the future more stressed out than anything, more anxious about what's coming because we're not sure about what the weather or our health or our loved ones or money. There's so many things that put us in that place of panic. But to be able to be sensitive to your needs and to bring yourself back into the moment, it's a conversation that I really love to be around people who are willing to take their health into their own hands. And this is an opportunity for you. So it's a BOGO, it's doTERRA, it's a sales pitch, sure. It's an invitation, always, right? Because number one, it gives you access to the best way to work with me if that's something you're interested in, and then a few other movement experts, right? Because you could get a month free in our virtual studio, which is also helping you learn how to distribute stress in the body, make space for yourself first and foremost, and to be able to look to the future in a positive and optimistic, hopeful way. So thank you all so much for watching. If you're still with me, I know it's because you're really into this. And there's so many out there, and I'm excited to continue to grow and share information, education, experiences, and for us to expand the humanity of each other. Be great together. I love you. Take care of yourself. Please put your mental health, your emotional well-being first and foremost, and then you can show up for the world in such a beautiful way. If you're interested in trying out some plant medicine, getting a drawing into the drawing for a month, you can send me a message. Take care of yourselves. Love you. Talk to you tomorrow.